Quest 2. But yeah, today basically new map came out. As you can see, very cool looking. Lots of different kind of surfaces, shapes and sizes, and the most important one in my opinion, just I'll give you the spoiler real quick. This big long wall. When they add the multiplayer or the ability to send files over to people and stuff, having this big long wall for productions is going to be sick. But yeah, a couple of things to note. If you notice my voice sounds different, my voice has been almost completely gone for like the last week due to a cough that I've had. So yeah, it might sound a little strange and a bit scratchy and stuff, so apologies about that. But yeah, number 1, new map. Number 2, some bug fixes, some settings and stuff like that have been updated. I'm going to do a time lapse of a piece in a lone straight letter piece that I did over in this wall over here and talk about the kind of the notes. But I just wanted to show off the map first and foremost. And the very cool thing, for the first time ever, I am in a game. I got selected as part of a group of artists to include my artwork, so basically a couple of drawings that I did in Procreate, and the amazing devs behind Graffism actually put mine and a load of other artists' work into the game. So I believe it's on the outside section behind me, because obviously you don't want too much artwork on the walls inside the skate park itself. So if I turn around now, somewhere I should be able to spot my alone piece. Ah, there it is, right by the gate. That is so cool. I'm in a game. What I will do is I will back out, reload the game in a higher resolution so I can see it a bit clearer, just for this little clip. But that is absolutely amazing. I submitted 3 pieces in, 2 kind of more simple straight letters. But yeah, there it is, right at the entrance as well, like right smack bang in the middle, next to some absolute killers. I think that's Core. Fun fact, oh, that's so cool. Sue is the guy who provided a lot of level artwork for the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 video games on the PS2, I want to say. He's active in the Discord and he kind of pointed out and showed in some examples. Maybe I'll flash them up on the screen here to be featured next to him. So like, oh, I'm getting like goosebumps. I'm chill. Like we're experiencing a heat wave in Ireland right now, and I'm experiencing goosebumps. Like that is so cool. But yeah, I might just reload the game. But yeah, it's a lot clearer. So before I was recording, I could see it a lot like in crystal clear. But that is amazing. It looks pretty cool actually. It really pops off the wall, to be fair, with the pinks and the blues and stuff. Featured with some heavy hitters. What can I say? Like a guy who submitted the original artwork for the Tony Hawk's games. Like that's like I grew up on Tony Hawk's 3. 3 was my kind of generation when I was getting into skateboarding. 3 was that time for me. And to be on a wall in a game now myself next to a guy who provided the graffiti for that, absolutely mind blown. So thank you again so much to the devs for doing that, giving us that opportunity, and again just the placement right outside the main entrance. But yeah, I'll stop patting my own back now, reload, and we'll go and have a look at the skate park. But just wanted to point that out because I just think it's amazing. Okay, here we are back in now. So let's just go and do the tour as if we are walking in for the first time through the main gate. You've admired my incredible, beautiful artwork over there. I kid. But you've walked in, and this is the first thing that you read with is the view. You have your little sign over there, which is basically just your rules. You have to wear a helmet, knee pads. It's not the council's responsibility if you fall, etc., etc. You got all these markable surfaces. Keep in mind with Graffism, everything is taggable. Whether it's the bin, which I just plopped myself up onto. I think that's just an interaction thing. It's the game again. The game is very early access. It's 0.4.6, as I was saying. But like stuff like this, we can tag on. I'm still not the best at the markers, even though I know that you can go through the wall pretty much. Oh, you can't. They've changed that. There is only a certain limited interaction. Okay. Maybe that's in the patch notes that I'll need to read out at the end of the video. So yeah, interesting. I wasn't aware that they changed it. I actually preferred that you could basically go through the whole wall with the marker. I wonder if that's an intentional thing or not. I'll have to look into it. But anyway, yeah, so again, everything is taggable. So you got that's a marker, we have a can and a cap. And if we look down, that's there you go. Yep. You can tag that. Just to get down here real quick. Trope tag. DCK, rep the crew. Yeah, again, the sides of the bins, everything that you've kind of seen before. There's nothing new in terms of like, okay, you can or can't tag this and that and the other. It is pretty much just, if there's a surface that you can reach, you can probably catch a tag on it. We're getting that bug where you get pushed away as into things. Again, far be it for me to be making mad suggestions. I personally think a better way to do it is the Kingspray way of just like not pushing us away, but just glitching through, making the screen black and just saying out of bounds. Something like that, like, because again, that would solve all the issues of like where let's say you're trying to paint on the side of this like sloped surface here. Maybe that's not the best example, maybe. Yeah, that's not the best example. But like stuff like the stairs in like the fire escape stairs in the rooftop map, that kind of thing, like that would get rid of that as a problem if you could just glitch through it as opposed to pushing you away. Yeah, so again, you've got stuff like the different surfaces. So example, you've got smooth kind of skate park floor concrete on the ramps. You have the wooden kind of quarter pipe here. You've got the brickwork around the edge. Yeah, like you can see here, all paintable. Oh, bit of choppiness in the headset there just because I'm recording. Trim me off. Something like that. AL1. As I always say, I don't write alone, I write L1. I don't, I write alone to be fair. But yeah, so you've got wooden surface here, so that's just something different. And again, like with everything is taggable. Okay, I'm kind of getting it now. See the way as I'm leaning, it's kind of glitching me out. But yeah, so again, you can just do once. Now, I would imagine it's going to be tricky to do stuff on these ramps. Like, again, you've got a big flat spray here, so you can do something. But, you know, as if like you have to get on your hands and knees in a skate park on an actual quarter pipe, like it's not quite, the interaction kind of being a bit buggy is not quite conducive to that. But again, just being able to do like weird things, like I could do like, in theory, you could do an alone around the whole thing, or you could do like, you know, weird shapes along the curve of the ramp. So like something like this with a little flare action. And now I think I've gone too far, but sure. Something crap like that, like that's awful obviously. But it's a cool little variation. I would like to see more. I don't know what you could do with a skate park, but I'm like, is there any way one of the side walls could be a different concrete texture again? I like this though. So again, you've got like a bit of just texture, a bit of broken texture to kind of break up the surfaces. Choppiness is not helping me out at all. If we just do a quick little thingy, you've got a nice little, that's just, again, it's what I've said before about king spray, is that I don't like when people make custom maps for king spray and they just make it look like a wall, like a type of wall or surface or whatever, but they don't do the actual texture, like the brickwork for example, like in this, the way you can see that it's actually wobbly. Like that gives it the texture, that gives it the character that you're looking for when you paint something like that, like that kind of way. So it's cool to see that it's included by default in the Graffism maps. They didn't just make this like a big thing that looks like concrete. It actually has like the broken bit in the part that you paint and stuff. So I just had the idea basically to do something real quick to show you in real time as I'm painting. Again, I'm getting messed up by this little curve here, but yeah, I will have a time lapse. So I did a full alone. You've probably seen it. I'll probably have used it in the title and thumbnail. And again, this separation, these dots are just because I'm recording. They're just, if there's one overall complaint I would have with the game, it's just that it is quite unoptimized at the moment. Any kind of recording is just kind of puts it in the bin, but the performance that is. And there we go, just something crap and quick to demonstrate something in real time in the video. But yeah, so again, you've got the different surfaces. You go up here, and then you've got your brickwork, which is something entirely different again. So it's hard to give good examples and make things look good when the performance is choppy like that, but sure, look, this is what I'm really excited for. Look at the length of this back wall here. So like when multiplayer comes out, or when the ability to do collaborations by kind of transferring files over, stuff like that comes along, look at the amount of room we have for activity. You get half the Discord server on this one wall alone, like, so that's pretty cool. And again, you've got all of these different smaller walls, smaller surfaces, and then you've got the pool, which again, it's its own kind of cool little thing. I've actually painted a pool this summer. Earlier this year, I went and painted a alone straight letter, kind of very similar to the one that I did on that wall there, in a pool, in a skate park here in Ireland. And kind of it came out, it's a bit weird, it's a bit of an odd angle or whatever, but it came out pretty fine. And so this will be really cool when they sort out the collision thing. When you stop getting pushed back by leaning towards a surface, that's going to be a game changer. Being able to get down, even if it's on your hands and knees in person in real life, and do this all this kind of stuff, it's going to be fantastic. I committed to this and it's terrible and pointless, but just to give you an example, again, you can tag everything. And that's pretty much it. It's just, it's more of the same greatness from the guys at the is it VR Right? That there is the actual dev team. I'm assuming the VR Right skate park, so don't know how you pronounce that. Obviously it's a pun on right, like right graffiti, something like that. It's really cool. Lots of different spaces, areas that you can paint. You know, again, if you can imagine, like, put down the beatbox, having a few tunes playing. Once the multiplayer comes out, you know, having everyone spread out around doing different areas of the map and stuff like that. I would have loved to see this rotated and kind of something that we can tag on, because if you get in now, this is where you're blocked off. You can only get in about this far, and then as you lean in to try and catch your tags on it, you get that bug where it pushes you away. Because again, dumpster, like tagging a dumpster, like particularly with the markers and stuff like that, it's kind of classic graffiti stuff. So it's a bit of a shame that it doesn't quite let you do that. But yeah, that's it. It's a cool free update for the game. This whole map is just a free update. It's just another map that they've added into the base game that you've already paid for. It's not DLC, it's not anything, you know, extra that they're trying to kind of nickel and dime you for. It is a cool update. And again, there will be some bug fixes that I will go back and cover. I'll do the patch notes for this update, which again, I'm guessing included this whole thing where you can't tag with the marker. You have to be within a certain point. Is it with all the markers? That's what I was talking about. My voice was gone. Is it all the markers? Markers. Yeah, once you go through a certain point, yeah. Alright, like it still works fine. It's just I actually quite like the kind of leeway that you got with using being able to put the marker all the way through. But no harm, no foul. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so that's pretty much that. I'm gonna switch over now to a time lapse of the Alone piece that I did, and I'm gonna go through, as I said, those kind of patch notes. Yeah, that's it. Just again, I just want to say massive thank you to the guys at VR, I'm assuming, again for throwing the piece in there in the background. It's pretty amazing, and again, mind blown to be put next to who was put next to it. But that's about it. 0.4.6 new map, couple of updates, and yeah, let's get into the kind of patch fixes and update section of the video. So I'll meet you back over on the PC where I'll do like the webcam type thing. Okay, so here we are, onto the patch notes. I'm going to read them out kind of, and again, in the background we have my Alone straight letter in the Skatepark that I did yesterday. Just going to go through them. Before I do that though, I just also want to say that I kind of, very late to the game, I won't get into the details, but I didn't realise for like a week or so, I guess, that I'd been added into the beta testers group, which means you get early access to the updates, and kind of, again, you're a beta tester, so you're checking for bugs and looking for any kind of potential issues with the new update, see if you can find any new bugs, if there's any bugs that have been fixed, confirmed that have been fixed and everything. So I really appreciate that. Again, I'm raging that I found out so late, because they're also sound enough to let people that made content, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it might be, to cover the new map and the new update and all that kind of stuff, like, you know, early. I didn't realize again that I'd gotten the invite to this group, and then when I did find out, I had this voice being gone issue, so I wasn't able to take advantage this time around of being able to do stuff early. But again, it's just a huge thank you for including me in that little group. But yeah, without further ado and talking about myself, we'll get into the patch notes. So first and foremost, very basic, new spot, the skate park. We just had a look at it. You're watching it on the screen now of a piece being painted, so it's the new spot at the skate park. In the settings, there has been an option to toggle gravity. So basically, you if you pick up the fire extinguisher or a paint can or the boom box or the ladder, if you let it go, it stays in the air, just kind of floats in the air. With this option, if you toggle it on now, when you let it go, it'll fall to the ground. So kind of straightforward. Not a huge thing, but again, if you don't want to have things floating around or like placing the boom box in a specific direction, you want to just lay it down and kind of plop it down somewhere. Like that's what that would be used for, I assume. Next up is improved ladder interaction. Now, I don't think that's that fix for the kind of issue of getting bumped away. It's improved the interaction with the actual ladder itself. So I'm guessing, again, I haven't actually used the ladder itself because of that bug. I've just tended to paint the pieces at the height that I am, or kind of crouch, and then, you know, kind of. So again, I have not found a need for the ladder just yet for getting up on higher areas, but it's not a fix for I don't believe this to be a fix for the problem where like climbing up the ladder and then painting you'll fall off. I don't think it's a fix for that. I think that's still kind of a collision issue that they're working with. But again, just any kind of interaction improvement is always good. Tools, painting with extinguisher is now only possible while holding the bottle. I didn't know that was a problem, so I guess you could hold the bottle, start painting, and then let go of it somehow, depending on your interaction thing. Again, this is just a weird edge use case that somebody had found was a bug, so again, I'd never experienced it, but it's no longer possible, so you have to be holding the bottle, holding the kind of the fire extinguisher itself. Markers can no longer create long streaks of paint when painting at sharp angles. Yeah, that's something that I kind of came across, is that the markers were essentially acting as like flares. So if you held them at angles, you could like flare a marker, as if you were doing a flare tag with a spray can. Like pretty much the marker was doing essentially that. It wasn't kind of necessarily flaring out huge, like and wide into like a cone shape. It was going like you could flick it up and get those kind of flary high streak lines. So that has been fixed. Next up is controls, teleportation button remapped. Now activate by pushing the left or right stick forward depending on your dominant hand. This change prevents accidental teleports when using tools like the extinguisher. Again, a really weird edge use case, I guess. Well, not really. I suppose if you prefer teleport and you want to be using the fire extinguisher quite a bit, I suppose that'd be pretty annoying. But again, I use continuous movement and I don't use the fire extinguisher a lot. Using it to paint that piece in the last video. As always, card on screen, link in the description below if you want to see that video. I do a full piece with just a fire extinguisher only. Thought that was pretty fun. So I suppose that could be more common than you think. It's just not something that I'd personally come across, but if that was a bug that was irritating for you, if you were someone who uses teleport, that should be fixed now and it shouldn't be an issue going forward, hopefully. Another one in controls, adjusted teleportation areas in the container and truck levels. So in the warehouse, you've got the three levels, the canvas, container and the truck. Apparently you used to be able to teleport inside those objects, which is less than ideal, obviously. Kind of pointless, just a weird bug that you don't really need in the game. So they have fixed that now. So they've adjusted teleportation areas to prevent that essentially. So that's no longer possible. And then lastly, we've got just 3 UI fixes. So the teleportation ray no longer appears in the tablet's camera view. So I assume like when you had the tablet out and you're looking through, if you did the teleport, if you want to teleport somewhere, it would show up. Again, don't necessarily think that's a big issue. Some people, I guess, maybe found it immersion breaking or something that you were seeing the thing, but yeah, no, wouldn't have been a huge problem for me that I would have been worried about. This one was a big problem that I did run into in that same video using the fire extinguisher. In the UI again, fixed the bug where recent colors and paint usage was not counted while using the left hand. So this is something that I helped contribute to fixing. Somebody had noticed there was kind of an aha moment where it was like, this seems to be happening when you're using certain tools, and I think it was either Raffle or VWriter that were like, are you left-handed by any chance? And I confirmed it by saying that though I'm right-handed and I have my right hand set as my dominant hand in the game, when I use the fire extinguisher, I actually hold it in my left hand. So I hold the fire extinguisher in my left hand and I spray the nozzle with my right because I've got more kind of, obviously I'm right-handed, so I have more control. So again, in that video, you might have remembered me pointing out the fact that I can't see the colors, that I can't go back to the most recent colors. It was because the painting hand that I was using to paint with was, because that's the one that you pull the trigger from, is the one that you hold the fire extinguisher with. So I was doing it as I would do it in real life. I would hold it the extinguisher with my left hand and paint with my right. And yeah, so that was causing that bug. So for whatever reason, it wasn't whatever about the paint usage, because that's just like a cool little side feature. Not having the recent colors, that's quite annoying. Like that is kind of just, it's a big drain on like having to remember what shade and everything like that. Since we don't have a color picker from the wall option just yet, we're kind of relying heavily on recent used colors to kind of, to be able to keep going back to the colors that you've previously used recently, obviously, for the piece that you're painting. So yeah, so that one was kind of less than ideal, especially, and then I only encountered that in that one specific odd circumstance, but it was happening for everyone who painted left-handed. It's really good that they got that fixed. Lastly then, we have UI, one more time, photo frame UI updated with rotate buttons for landscape and portrait photos. So that is cool because you did have to kind of physically manually turn the camera. Yeah, like so if you wanted a horizontal photo, if you wanted a portrait photo, you'd have to physically turn it. So now they have an option that you can just press a button and it will take the photo in portrait for you. I'm guessing is what that means. So that's pretty cool. Again, it's just a lot of these bug fixes aren't things that I often come across, because more often than not, I'm taking my picture in landscape mode because that's a piece that goes the kind of left to right landscapes already. But an example that I can think of where they're coming in handy is that they prefer, if you're submitting a photo for the word of the week, because they share it on Instagram and stuff like that, having to be portrait mode is kind of ideal for that format. So when people were sending them in landscape mode, they were having to stack 2 photos on one slide and stuff like that, as opposed to one at a time. So for that purpose, if nothing else, it seems to be pretty good. I do know that they also added in, I believe this should be added in this update, because there was a more recent update to the beta channel where they've added in a couple of extra little things, but one of them being photo filters. So if this update goes live tomorrow, as I'm recording this on the Thursday, if it goes live on Friday, the notes don't have it yet, but the game should have photo filters. There's like 5 or 6 photo filters and like a little depth of field bokeh blur setting. Again, I just want a clean, simple photo of my piece. I don't mess. If I'm going to adjust the colors, I'm going to do it in Photoshop once I transfer over to my PC or some like an app on my phone or something like that before I upload it anywhere that I might be uploading it. So I wouldn't be, again, not aimed at me, but somebody out there finds it useful. Somebody's going to have some cool photos taken with the different filters and stuff. So looking forward to that. I can hear my voice going in real time now. It's starting to like slowly fade as I'm going. Like less and less words are starting to come out. So I'm going to wrap it up there. That is the end of the notes as we have them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just again, as far as the updates go, not too much as far as like bug fixes and changes and all that. It's a fairly bug-free game, to be fair. So there's not too much to fix. But the big kind of highlight for this is clearly the new map. They've got a brand new map, the skate park, loads of room for activities. Again, that big wall across the back is going to be savage for the multiplayer and for again, yeah, when we can send files over to do collaborations and stuff like that. So yeah, just another cool, again, it's this thing that I keep talking about, the support, considering how Kingspray died, just to see the constant interaction with the community. They're giving updates when they said they will. They said there'll be an update in August with the new map for a skate park, and it's coming most likely tomorrow as I record this. If by the time you're watching it, it's probably already out. And so yeah, the next big one then, I believe, is next month in September. At some point, we'll be getting a Steam release. Fingers crossed. I don't know if they're going to do any kind of cross-buy or discount if you bought it already or something like that. I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing. That'd be sick to see, but I'm just mostly looking forward to being able to play at higher frame rates and resolutions and stuff like that on Steam. Again, assuming it's well optimized for the PC, that's the scary thing. I understand the Quest 2 in particular is not the most powerful headset in the world, so the fact that it's a bit chuggy, particularly when you're recording, is absolutely kind of to be expected a little bit. It's fine, to be fair, when you're painting for the most part without recording, but just that little bog down, slow down that you get when it starts when you're recording, because that's not ideal. So yeah, so when it comes out on Steam, hopefully the power of people's computers, CPUs and GPUs and stuff like that being a bit beefier will mean that I'll be able to record and make the videos a bit smoother and stuff. Like again, like when I tried to get that clip earlier on of the piece behind the gate of my piece in the map with a bit more clarity. Yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, weird side tangent there about Steam. I was just basically the point being that the commitment to updates, they are sticking with it, they're following through so far. Let's hope it keeps up. But yeah, I have got to go because this is rough. So yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.